Man, where do people come up with this stuff? Christopher can't write well. That's clearly a poor opinion, a poor uninformed opinion. Seriously, the only thing missing from Out of Alcatraz is Clint Eastwood and Patrick McGoohan. It's a brand new book from, as I said, Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook on the art. It's on Oni Press. And it is the story of Alcatraz, the three men that escaped from Alcatraz. Of course, we know in real life there was little or nothing suggesting that they survived the trip through San Francisco Bay off the rock. But this story by Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook is it's based in history. It's based in real history, but it's a fictional telling of what happened after they got off the rock and made it to land. At least a couple of them did anyway. It's the story of Frank Morris and Clarence Anglin. John Anglin doesn't make it. That's how it opens. That's how the book opens. And one of the crazy things is that the two of them get to land, and right away there's clothing waiting for them. There's 4 sets of clothing waiting for them. There were 4 of them supposed to get out. One of them didn't get out. Alan West was still inside. I don't know if in real life there was a 4th man or not, or if that's just a something they're using, a tool that they're using to tell part of the story here. Connecting the police and finding out what happened and how they escaped from the actual prison there, and everything that happened, and try to find out, did they get help from the outside? And that's what I was getting at. There's clothing there waiting for them, 4 sets of clothing waiting for them, and that tells you that there was somebody knew they were getting out. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody materially helped them per se, but definitely knew that they were getting out and were going to be there, or at least expected 4 of them to be there. Just the 2 of them, Frank and Clarence, make it. And Clarence is pretty slow. He's kind of a slow fellow. And so Frank's the leader. And Frank's a criminal, but he's not he's a lifelong criminal, but he's probably just as much a victim of circumstance and the system as anything. Been a criminal since he was 13 years old, just the thief type, not the violent type, not the type to hurt anybody necessarily. But he's definitely in charge, and he definitely has a plan. And the 2 of them head off. They end up stealing a car. So this is where this is where you wonder. The question comes up: is the clothing there? Was it somebody that's really helping them get out of prison? Or is it just somebody that knew they were getting out of prison and provided them with some clothing? Because the whole idea of having to steal a car and leaving that trail of a theft of a car somewhere near any place where they could have landed after escaping. That part of it right there is a little bit. Makes you wonder what the author's doing. Makes you wonder what the author is thinking. Is that, did he miss that himself and not realize? Oh well, if they're getting helped materially, which we find out they are, is what I'm getting at. Why didn't somebody provide them with a vehicle to be able to cover their tracks to get them out of it? It's a little bit. So you wonder about those few things, the device of the 4th man, that stuff. Where's it going? We'll have to finish reading the stories. What happens is the 2 of them, they do manage to get off to where they're going, and there is somebody there. When they get to where they're going, there's a woman, a black woman, which this time period obviously that's a little bit weird and a little bit different. Given the time period, you have to understand that there's some maybe some racial undertones that maybe some people might be uncomfortable with, but at any rate, it's certainly well written and well within the time, and certainly expected. I didn't not see what was happening coming. Not to say that it was so obvious, but reading it and going, oh well, this is one of those things that could turn into this, and it does. So you're getting the questions, you're getting the things that are leading you to the next part of the story. Go pick up the next book, kind of thing. But you're also getting the, oh yeah, all right, I know where this is going. I see where this is going. I don't know what that means when people say that Christopher can't write well. I think it's a weird thing. Obviously, it's somebody's goofy little play on words. They think they're funny because Cantwell is an author, a writer, and so you just slip that in the middle there, and you just burned him. You got him. You're so good. I don't get it. I think it's probably just haters. I've read a number of things that he's written. And this is one of the best of them for sure, and it's great. It's just fine. The art is awesome as well. Tyler Crook is a great artist, and there's a huge story. This is a huge book. It's a $6 book, but it's like a 32-pager, and it's nothing but story from front to back. So it's really fantastic package, the whole thing, and shaping up to be a really great story. This person that's helping them, this black woman that is helping these two convicts, is setting them up to go to some kind of farm or something up in Canada. And we don't really know what that's about, but you find out that there's this sort of underground railroad thing going on, shipping prisoners out to work on farms or something. And we don't really know yet exactly where that's going, but there's this chain of people and concerned people and money and events and things that has to be followed, and a bunch of interested parties and deals being made, time being offered. They're supposed to go work on the farm apparently for a year. 4 of them are supposed to go there and work on this farm for a year. No big deal. Then they get they let them loose in Canada, whatever, no extradition. I don't know. They're otherwise free. They're no longer within the system. They've gone from one prison to not quite a prison to now they're going to be free, supposedly. But because the 2 of them are dead, they want double the time out of them, and because one of them not 2 of them, one of them is dead and one of them's still in the prison. So the one is dead, they kind of want double time, and then the one that's in the prison, they want some more time because this guy is a potential leak. Although they say that he knows nothing about what's going on the outside, that all he knew was that they had plans to escape, and that he was supposed to follow the plans, and he just didn't make it. But that's all we know at this point. It's shaping up to be a great story, and the haters, let them hate. Don't turn down a book based on its cover, particularly just because it says some particular author or artist on there. You've got to let these things speak for themselves, and that's what I do, and that's why I do this every week. It's out in your local comic shop now, Out of Alcatraz. If you can't pick it up in your space where you're at, hit me up at AmazingFantasies.com.